Have you ever had that feeling at work where you know you're talented, you know you have great ideas, but for some reason, they just don't seem to land right? Well, it might not be your ideas at all. It might just be the words you're using. We're about to dive into how a few tiny word swaps can totally upgrade your professional presence, making sure your language finally matches your talent. So let's just ask the question straight up. Do your words reflect your talent? I mean, you've got the skills, you've got the drive, but does the way you speak every single day really do you justice? Or, just maybe, could your words be subtly holding you back from being seen as the leader you really are? And that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. We have a handful of super simple, totally actionable language swaps. Seriously, this isn't about changing who you are. It's just about picking words that paint a more accurate picture of your competence and professionalism. All right, let's start at the foundation, right? How you talk about your time, your energy, and even your slip-ups. This is all about projecting a sense of control and unwavering competence from the moment you open your mouth. Okay, first one. This is a classic, and we are all guilty of it. I'm so busy. It's like our go-to response for everything. But what if we swapped it for something just a little more polished? Instead of I'm busy, try this. I'm a bit tied up right now. So what's the big deal? Well, busy just sounds reactive, almost like your schedule is this monster that controls you. But saying you're tied up, that implies you're deep in something important. It says, yeah, I'm focused right now, but it's temporary, and I'm the one in command of my time. Okay, next up, how we handle mistakes. Because hey, we're human, things are going to get missed. But instead of that flat, common phrase, I forgot, let's try a sharper alternative. It slipped my mind. Think about it. I forgot can kind of sound like a personal failing, right? A real hard stop. But it slipped my mind? That feels like a momentary lapse that could happen to literally anyone. It subtly frames it as an exception, not the rule, which helps keep your reputation for being reliable totally intact. And here's a third one for this section, and it's all about keeping things professional while still being honest. So instead of just blurting out, I'm tired, think about saying, I could use a little rest. You see the difference? It's huge. I'm tired is basically a complaint. It can bring down the energy of the whole room. But I could use a little rest is a proactive statement about what you need. It shows self-awareness and immediately flips the focus from the problem to the solution. Okay, so we've covered how you talk about yourself. Now let's pivot to how you talk to other people, especially when you're giving feedback. We're going to move away from those vague, kind of useless words to language that's precise, valuable, and actually constructive. Oh man, we fall into this trap all the time, giving really generic feedback like very good or very bad. Let's upgrade those, shall we? For praise, try something with a little more punch, like excellent. And for criticism, something more helpful, like this isn't quite ideal. So why does this matter so much? Very good is totally forgettable, but excellent, that feels genuine. It makes the praise stick. And on the flip side, very bad is just a dead end, but not ideal. That's an invitation. It tells your coworker, hey, this isn't working yet, but let's figure out how to fix it together. Here is another major feedback trap. Saying I don't like it is pretty much like putting up a giant brick wall in the middle of a conversation. For a much more collaborative approach, one that actually points toward a solution, try this. It's not my preference. Seriously, I don't like it is a conversation killer. It's emotional and it's final. But saying, it's not my preference immediately signals that your opinion is just that, your opinion. It's subjective, it keeps the door wide open for other ideas, and shifts the goal to finding the best solution, not just the one that you like. So, the big takeaway here is really simple. Specificity builds credibility. When you choose your words with a little more care, you're not just sounding smarter, you're actually proving that you're an engaged, constructive, and super valuable person to have in the room. All right, for our final section, let's talk about those times when you're the one who needs a hand. This is all about shifting from that passive state of confusion to a proactive stance that actually invites people to help you and gets you the answers you need way faster. Look, it's totally natural to get confused when you're tackling something new, but just announcing, I'm confused, can make you sound kind of stuck. Let's swap that for something way more empowering. I need some clarity on this. You feel that shift? It's huge. I'm confused is a passive state. You're just stuck in it. I need clarity is an active request for a tool to get unstuck. You're not just pointing out a problem, you're taking the first real step to go and solve it.
And for our final swap, let's hit a really tricky one. I can't understand. This phrase can, without you even meaning to, sound like you're blaming the other person for not explaining it well. The most powerful alternative here isn't another statement. It's something totally different. It's a question, can you explain that differently? This is so powerful because it just takes the pressure off of everybody. It reframes the problem. It's not about a personal failure to understand. It's just a simple mismatch in communication styles. It's collaborative and it's instantly focused on the solution. So we've looked at a bunch of these specific little swaps, but what's the big picture here? These phrases aren't just lines you should memorize. They're examples of a whole mindset. They represent a set of core principles you can use to upgrade your entire communication toolkit. And here they are, the 3 core principles. First, always project control. Show that you're in command of your time and your responsibilities. Second, be specific and constructive. Make your feedback the start of a conversation, not the end of one. And third, invite action and collaboration. Phrase your needs in a way that makes it easy for other people to help you succeed. Look, these aren't just abstract ideas. These are tools you can start using today. So the final question I have for you is this. What's one conversation you're going to have this week, and how are you going to choose to upgrade it?